Hi friends, and for those that are new here, I'm Pätrick. I am exploring a year of plant-based wellness that intersects with my personal growth, my little family here at home, and the communities that I navigate in and around. So as we know, I have been exploring a little bit of how the algorithm is picking up, what ads should be tailored to me specific, and how I largely think of the five major, intersections of interest I have in my social media. And several weeks ago, I came across an ad for Everlywell testing, and this was around food allergies was what the ad was for me personally. And for me, I do have two food-related allergies. One is I'm pretty sure I have a lactose allergy rather than an intolerance, and I'm also allergic to pineapple, which is rather unfortunate. And so I've never really had these personally confirmed other than just the reaction that takes place after ingesting one of these two areas of food. So I picked up one of these little kits. All right, so this is old Pätrick. So this is going to be a couple of days of putting content together to show you what this is, how it arrives, and what the process and timeline is on getting results back, and then what they show for me. But I'm just going to walk through the process and get it sent in. All right, so there is a instruction pamphlet in here that gives you a list and an overview of what's included, and as well as identifying what the things are specifically. And it gives you an important reminder of from the registration kit to filling out the card, providing enough of a sample, complete your registration. Then there's the instructions for actually providing the sample and return instructions. All right, open the gauze pad and bandage. Fill out the card. Wash your hands. Choose a finger. Twist off and open it, then press down on your finger to puncture the skin. Use extra if you need more blood. Now it says to drip on each, fully. All right, so I actually had to use both of these. I was glad there's a backup for it because they did not work quite well for me. So the next step is to return instructions. Double check that you're registered your kit and completed your collection card. Your sample cannot be processed if either of these are skipped. Once it is dry, put it inside the biohazard bag and place it inside the box. Keep the gel kit inside. Place the box in the return envelope using the shipping label provided inside the box, and you are ready to go. All right, so now we wait. So I'm back because if you just watched what I did where I put it back inside this box thinking that the box that it came in had the shipping label in it, and you ransacked wherever you're living to look for the shipping label that you think that you lost when you unpackaged this box, it's actually underneath and it's in this bag, which this bag is to go into, and then you stick your label on it and you send it on its way. So for real, now we wait. Now, it is several weeks since I have dropped this off for analysis, and there was a little bit of an issue at the lab with something. Because it was using the USPS, it was delayed quite a bit. And then on top of that, I think there was some staffing issues and backlog within the actual testing facility itself. So it took about 6 weeks just for results to become available. And since the time I sent my sample out for analysis to now, I've actually zeroed in on what specifically this test for. And I will say that I am pleased to see that pineapple is specifically tested for. However, there's different aspects of dairy. So I know that like cheddar cheese, for example, overwhelmingly does not have lactose in it. And there are certain brands like Cabot that market themselves on the ability to certify that they are a lactose-free dairy product. However, with these the other range of dairy products on here, I wonder what specifically within them they are testing for. I did send out an email asking about what are the specific antigens that these are testing for within these selected dairy items, and I did not get a direct response back to that. So I already know that my test results are not going to confirm a lactose allergy per se, so I already find that a little bit disappointing, but I'm excited to see if my pineapple allergy is confirmed or not. So having your results available to you electronically, I think, is a really great idea. I think that the idea is meant to quicken the process from taking your sample from testing to then securely individualizing its return to you. And I will say that in an ideal world, that is a great theory. However, I still noticed it was the better part of 2 months. So I wouldn't necessarily say that this is a quick process, and depending on how the ebb and flow of the USPS might actually take in the future, if these delays are going to be permanent delays, this might be a frequent occurrence for sending things out for testing. It might take several weeks to have your results available to you. What I don't see on here is a conclusive lactose allergy, which is what I was speculating, and there's no surprise allergies on here, which is relatively great. I believe that there's 96 food antibody reactivity tests that are explored with your sample, and which is pretty comprehensive, and it also covers food items. I will applaud this particular thing. There's food items across the spectrum of things that I think that are pretty standard in most people's diets, but also there's things that are like chia seed and black pepper and an array of seafood that I think that people would take for granted to have tested. I don't think that people think about black pepper, which is a bitter spice that we put on relatively everything. And then things like chia seeds, which most people don't readily seek out to supplement in their diet. So I do think that there is a diverse selection here. I'd be interested to see how or what they deem as essential when they expand what the food testing exactly covers. What I really like about Everlywell also is that they're not just limited to address your immunology components of just food allergy, but they expand to testing things in relation to your immunological needs with sexual health topics. And that's something that they make readily convenient and private and accessible to you. So how this found me through the algorithm, I think, was appropriate. I was really excited to potentially get my confirmation of my food allergies. However, this didn't specifically target one of the only two I was curious about. And that might just be something I need to make time for and go and have specifically tested. But I will say another disappointment I think came from the turnaround time. I was expecting something a little bit more within like a 10 business day type of application, and my experience was, again, it was about 6 or 7 weeks. So if you're looking for testing where you need maybe more expeditious results available to you, this might not be the thing that you want to have as your go-to approach. That's something that maybe a walk-in clinic or an allergy center, or checking in with your PCP and seeing what they suggest as available resources in your local area that might have more availability for a quicker turnaround time to accommodate your time-related needs. But as far as this comes to you, you don't have to go anywhere. If you're not in a rush to find out what specific things on this list of 96 food allergens that they test for might be, give this a go. This, again, it was super easy. It was non-invasive. There was no try this, try that. It was sort of like a one-shot go, and for that, I would say that this is worth picking up. But let me know, what was your experience with Everlywell? Do you live in an area where the USPS picks things up a little bit more speedily and you get quicker turnaround time on your results? Is this something that you have found to not actually match up when in relation to comparing to another lab, for example? I'd be curious to see if anyone's had competing results from this in another lab. Maybe that's something I'll have to test at another time. But I would like to remind you to be kind to yourself today, whether that's taking time to explore certain food and nutritional things that best accommodate your body's needs, demands, and accommodation to metabolizing and digesting effectively and most efficiently for you, or maybe it's doing nothing of that and just enjoying something that is a comfort food. Do something kind to yourself today. Indulge a little bit. I will share more with you soon. Cheers.